Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to GCU's Ice Hockey YouTube channel. My name is Seth Askelson alongside Jesse Vineyard. And Jesse, I wouldn't necessarily say a tale of two halves of a period, but GCU really came out firing in those first 10 minutes, tied the game, and they were playing well up to the point where on a rush, Marolda and Lamont Stokes were kind of on a 2-on-1. Lamont Stokes struggled to handle the puck, but he was able to get it to Marolda. Marolda lost it after he got tapped on the stick, and then all of a sudden there was 4 gray jerseys below the circles, and then it turned into a 3-on-1 that ended up to an ASU goal.
Yeah, I mean, that was not the greatest way to end the periods, but the 10 to 15 minutes before that was pretty good for GCU, and especially on the special teams. 2 power play goals in that period gets GCU back into the game. They ended up tying it at 2 with those 2 power play goals, and of course the ASU goal to make it 3-2. But outside of that one ASU goal, it was a good period for GCU. They played, even though there were still quite a few penalties, it was still a much cleaner game. They saw a little bit more fight, a little bit more patience, good passing through the neutral zone, and they were able to kind of neutralize the best part of ASU's game, which was their speed. And GCU was able to capitalize on quite a few ASU mistakes and get back in the game.
Yeah, so 2 power play goals for the Lopes. The first one coming from Payne. He had 3 opportunities on that power play. The first 2, the one he just tapped to the right of the net. He was standing on the right side of the net. The second time the puck bounced over his stick when he was on the left side. And then again when he was on the left side, third time's the charm, he just taps it home. And so Jeff Payne got the first goal, then Bennett on the power play as well, picking up that second goal. And that's the thing we were talking about, right? ASU, very undisciplined, and GCU needed to take advantage of that, and they did. Now, I think it's all about getting a goal in 5-on-5 hockey, because at this point, you got to think over in the ASU locker room, they're talking about you got to stop taking penalties. GCU has proven that they can score on this power play. They can be lethal. That's their 4th power play goal of the year already. And so for ASU, they're talking about how they need to stop taking penalties. So GCU, just because you talk about it doesn't mean it's going to happen, but you got to think that ASU is going to be a little more disciplined, especially the way they experienced that game end last night.
Yeah, and on that power play, it's really the top unit of Zach Bennett, Declan Carter, Payne, Grant, and Marolda. That unit has just been working wonders in this game, and it's really starting to get under ASU's skin. So like you were saying, if ASU stays out of the box and keeps this game 5-on-5, ASU probably thinks that they have a good shot to win this game. But as you were saying, still on 5-on-5, GCU has to score 5-on-5, and it's going to take probably that top line of Zach Bennett, Wyatt Grant, and Declan Carter. That line has been the number 1 line for GCU up to this point. And if that line continues to do their thing, it can hopefully filter out throughout the rest of the team, and they can probably get a couple more goals.
Yeah, and we talked to Coach Roy last night and a few of the players, and pretty much the message was, we practiced 40 minutes of this power play throughout the entire 3 days. And, as Coach Roy said after the game, he said, we just kind of threw people together, who were here last year, and for having 40 minutes of practice with it and kind of just throwing groups together, this power play is pretty lethal already. So I'm excited to see what it's able to do once they get some more practice under their belt.
Oh, absolutely. And, just for the second game of the season against a D1 team, it's already looking pretty good. Last year it was so-so, could obviously have been a lot better. This year it's already looking a lot better. And if that top line continues to do what they are doing, that trio or that 5-man unit on the power play can really be dangerous. And if they're showing it to be dangerous against a D1 team, I can only imagine what it can be like against some of the teams that they'll face off possibly against in regionals or even nationals.
Yeah, so GCU on that path to nationals, right? Kind of getting one step at a time. They went to regionals last year. Obviously, they wanted to go to nationals, were unable to do so, but they're going to try to head there this year. So GCU power play looking good, but they still have a lot of work left to go. They got to score 1 more goal to tie this game and obviously get that game winner. So for Jesse Vineyard, I'm Seth Askelson. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have Trey Green here on the Second Intermission Report. Welcome back to the GCU Ice Hockey YouTube channel. My name is Seth Askelson alongside Trey Green here. And Trey, good to see you again. We had you on the show last night, and again, glad to have you back. So Trey, you've seen this game so far, kind of a tale of two halves of a period, like we talked about kind of earlier in the show. First 10 minutes dominated by the Lopes, and they scored the 2 goals, tied the game. Not necessarily a bad final 10 minutes of that period, but it did end up with the goal for ASU. What do your teammates need to do to just kind of put that all together, put a solid 20 minutes together to come out with a win?
I think we just need to settle down. I mean, the first period was a lot of running, and that's kind of what put us in the hole to begin with. And then I think almost towards the end of the period, we were almost too amped. I mean, we had a great period until, a little bad bounce with 2 minutes left and them taking an odd man rush. But I think just settling down altogether should cure a lot of the pain right now.
When you're playing in a high-stakes game like this, right? I mean, crosstown rival, you want to win this game because it's Division I, get you guys really hyped heading into your Division II schedule. How do you kind of calm yourself down? Make sure you're not running around. Make sure you're in the right positions to win this game.
Yeah, I think that kind of ties in with the calming down. If we stay out of some of the crap and the hits, like you got to take the hits, yeah, but it's more of the retaliation that's killing us. And so if we calm down and kind of limit them running around and limit their speed. They've got a decent speed, and when we're able to limit them from that we've been doing well.
From what you've seen in this game, what has been the difference?
Our power play looks better than it did last night. Last night, one of the goals was power play, but we had a lot of chances. And I think more that they're on the ice, they're getting better, and the last 2 power plays they've dominated and ended in 2 goals.
Talking to kind of pretty much everybody last night, the talk about the power play was we didn't get a lot of time to talk about it and, or to practice. Coach Roy said in the post-game show that he just kind of threw the guys together that he knew the system from last year. And, despite that, 3 of the 4 goals this season are on the power play. What does that say about kind of the talent that this team has to really just be thrown out there on a power play and convert that many times?
Yeah, if any of the new guys on this year's team were on the team last year, they probably would have seen time on the power play, and they probably will throughout the year. We're a very deep team, and that's what's keeping us in this game right now is we don't have to limit and go 1-2 lines. Like, we're able to go all 4. Haven't had a whole lot of practice, but we're getting practice throughout the weekend, and it's working.
Trey, what's going to be the key to the Lopes to pull out the victory in this third period?
I think defensive end first. We are kind of getting, when we're in the offensive end, we're kind of getting caught low and having odd man numbers on the way back. So if we can limit those odd man rushes, all 3 of their goals are on odd man rushes, and if they don't have any of those, they're not scoring, and our pressure will keep up, and we'll take the lead here.
Well, Trey, thank you for joining me again, and appreciate your time. And fans, don't go too far. Jesse Vineyard and I will wrap up the second intermission report as ASU leads GCU 3-2. Stay tuned here on GCU Ice Hockey's YouTube channel. Welcome back to GCU's Ice Hockey YouTube channel. My name is Seth Askelson alongside Jesse Vineyard. And Jesse, a couple minutes before this third period gets underway, 3-2, what does GCU need to do to win?
Much of what they were doing in the second period. They're going to have to learn to finish throughout the season, and now is a really good time to do that. Last night they came close to finishing, but they couldn't quite get over that hump to get that third goal. But they know what they need to do. They did that in the second period. It's just a lot more of using their speed, throwing the pucks on net. That's how they basically got those 2 goals in the second period. Just keep throwing the pucks on net, get bodies in front of the net, and get bodies on ASU when they do have the puck to neutralize their speed. And of course, Barabash, he's made a couple of pretty big saves in this game. So have him keep doing his thing and just keep that speed up, and they'll be able to get that third goal and ultimately that winning goal too.
Yeah, Barabash has been fantastic this weekend, really keeping GCU in both games, and he might have to do it again here in this third period. So about 35 seconds away. Don't forget, if you want to watch the game, you can head over to Arizona State's ACHA Division I YouTube page. They are streaming the game live. Don't forget, after the game, come right back. Jesse Vineyard and I will have post-game coverage. Hopefully we'll have head coach Danny Roy up here in the booth as well. So once again, for Jesse Vineyard, I'm Seth Askelson. We'll see you after the game.